Hey everyone, and welcome to 1.21 Gigawatts. I am Peter, that is Connor, and this is our trailer talk show in which we pick a bunch of the trailers from the last week or so. We talk about them, discuss our feelings on the trailers and our anticipation for the movies. At the end of the show, we pick our favourite of the episodes, so that's what we're going to do. If you wonder why I'm sitting so low in the frame, it's because there's a cat in my lap and I can't lean forward.
Just throw the cat away.
He's comfy.
Be a professional.
He's comfy.
It's a cat. It'll get comfy somewhere else.
Gotta be nice to the cats. Cats are the lifeblood of the universe. So we got some movie trailers to talk about. It's been just over a week and a half since the last episode, due to some scheduling conflicts. It is worth mentioning, Connor's on vacation next week. There may be a solo trailer talk with myself, maybe not. We'll see if there's enough trailers to talk about, if I feel like it's worth doing an episode. If not, I'll be back the following week, and you can look forward to that then. But hey, we got a number of trailers to talk about. I did cut a few boring ones, a few lackluster ones that weren't as interesting to discuss. But we start off, this is the big one. We were waiting on this last time, because we knew it was going up the night we were recording, but it wasn't going up till super, super late, so we couldn't wait up for it. And that was Dark Phoenix, which is the next X-Men movie, with the cast, for the most part, of Apocalypse and the previous films that they've kind of assembled over the last couple. So you still get McAvoy and Fassbender, but they added in the kids last time of your young Cyclops and your young Jean Grey and so on. Notably so, because this movie's about Jean Grey. It's the story of the Phoenix. But I will say this. One of the biggest criticisms, not so much of this movie, or this trailer, but we'll get to talk about the trailer in a second, but one of the criticisms I'd have of the last movie, just based on this trailer, is that halfway through the trailer, I actually had to stop and think about it really hard if Jean Grey was in the last movie. I couldn't remember. And I eventually realised she was, but I had to think about it for a while.
Do you know? No, I'm with you. I know she was in it, but not because I can remember a single scene with her from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I know she was in it is because I can picture Matt next to that bloody poster. That big cutout.
That's right. I've got the meme of Matt stand next to Sophie Turner. And then the cardboard stand up. Yeah, that's right.
That's the only reason I know she was in the last movie.
The only moment I remember with her in the last movie is at the end when, and this is not a big spoiler, I don't think. She's just helping rebuild the mansion because the mansion got destroyed at one point. Like, that is the only moment I can really remember with her in that last movie.
I'm going to take your word for it. I'll be honest, I only saw the movie once because it was boring.
I also saw it once as well. And I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, oh, here's another sort of standard...
It was just mediocre.
Yeah. Not a standard kind of middle-of-the-road X-Men movie. So that takes us to this trailer. It's also worth mentioning, before we even talk about the trailer, this movie was delayed several months, like 2 days after this trailer came out.
Yeah, because I never watched the trailer when it went up because I didn't care enough. I waited till now. I didn't realize they'd actually put the date at the end of the trailer. I thought they'd just done a coming soon, one of those like 2019. But no, it was like what, February 14th or whatever it was.
Not anymore. It ain't. It's like June now.
Yeah, something like that.
So, okay, that's awkward. So the trailer itself, though. I have to say, this was one of the most underwhelming trailers for like a big movie I've seen in a long time.
It's so forgettable. I watched that trailer maybe half an hour ago, and I'm struggling to remember like anything interesting.
Individual moments. It looks like it's a very generic trailer, but it's a very generic looking movie. And when I say generic, I'm talking specifically about this franchise. It's like, because I think the hope is, okay, they're doing Dark Phoenix again. It has to be better than Last Stand, right? Because Last Stand was terrible. And it probably will be better than Last Stand. I mean, it's
pretty low bar
by default, but it doesn't look like it's actually that much better. It still looks like a collection of the same X-Men, or the same X-Men movie trope specifically that we've been using. Because one of the reasons why I like First Class so much is that it was the one that really felt like it was actually working towards a real X-Men sort of universe and story. Like, it felt like the team dynamic was there. And this felt like it was just going to be more of the same from Apocalypse, and not necessarily in a good way.
No. It's just, like I say, it'll be better than Last Stand, because Last Stand is actively a bad movie. I don't know if this will be a bad movie. It'll just be probably just another mediocre one. So it's better.
Yeah, but like a
But
5, maybe scrape into a 6 out of 10 kind of range. That's what it looks like from the trailer. But that maybe is like a bigger crime at this point because like I want to be motivated for it. I want to care about it. And this trailer has got so many. It's just so many quick cuts of, and it doesn't really give us a reason to care about anything. It just the only thing it really does is imply that Jean's concerned about a force inside her, and that she kind of goes to the villain. She goes to Magneto. She goes to whoever Chastain's playing, for advice, and they're
yeah,
villainous.
and Xavier's hiding the truth from her
Of course
as
he
usual.
is. And I can't really argue with Magneto when he says, "Hey Xavier, every time something like this happens, you make a speech and no one gives a shit," because he's done it every time at this point. And I'm like, okay,
Stick's getting old.
yeah, it feels it's actually kind of funny that Magneto kind of points out in the trailer itself that we're kind of running in circles. That's the problem. I feel like we're running in circles.
It feels like the movie's aware that it's going in circles, but it just doesn't care enough to try and break out of the circle.
It doesn't do like there's nothing in it. There's no like that's the scene, that's the moment they're selling in the trailer as the big moment that we're going to be excited about. There's no because even when you got like a really bland movie like Superman Returns, you had that plane sequence and they played that up in the trailer. Look at this plane sequence; it looks great. There's no hook like that. There's just lots of quick
Absolutely.
cuts
There
of
are
actors.
tons of movies that I don't love that have amazing trailers, like Man of
Yeah,
Steel, right? Another
yeah,
another Superman one.
good
Great
trailer.
trailers.
So it's a really bad trend actually of Superman movies having great trailers and shitty
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Not that Batman v Superman even had good trailers either, but still,
No, those were not great.
no. I don't know. It's hard to muster. I have never felt so apathetic, and I'm not angry at it. I'm not like, oh, this looks terrible. I'm just apathetic. Like it did nothing. It didn't. Like we were doing the TV news yesterday, and we had this running thing about the needle, like moving the needle. Like, are we hyped for a TV show? Are we not? This like the needle is just rock solid in place. It never even
It doesn't even
twinged.
go down.
Yeah, there was no flutter. It was just this right where it was.
And I know sometimes we can be a bit apathetic about some like Marvel properties and movies, but this seems to be the consensus from what I've seen online. No one seems to give a shit about
Yeah.
this trailer.
And I like X-Men. For the record, I like the characters.
I like them well enough.
So
I like some of the movies.
I want good X-Men movies, and after seeing this trailer, and between this being delayed in reshoots, between New Mutants being delayed in reshoots, I'm kind of just counting down to Feige and the MCU getting their hands on them, just so that they can start from scratch and
I mean,
hopefully
I'm not that interested in that either, but I mean, at least it'll be different,
it'll be
right?
different. This, I mean, sure, in 10 years' time you might be bored of what they're doing, but it'll be different than this for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm just up, and obviously it's starting off in a kind of slightly negative place just because Apocalypse was so middle of the road. And I didn't hate Apocalypse, but people really shat in that movie when it came out, and I thought it was just okay. Like it was just, like,
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 5, or
yeah,
maybe I was being generous at the time and gave it a 6.
very middle of the road. And this is probably going to be the same, but I think at this point that's actually really frustrating because it's like, okay, we're just staying in this mediocre place and not moving.
Like okay, here's the thing: Venom just came out, looks garbage. All the reviews are tearing it apart. I want to see that more than I do this movie, just to see how bad it is for myself. Not enough to find the time to go to the cinema, but when the home release, I'll watch that.
Yeah, because if it's bad enough, it's interesting to see how bad it is because it's something different again.
Yeah.
Whereas with this movie, it's kind of like, why didn't I not? I mean, not that I really want to see Transformers 4 either. I saw Transformers 4 for review, but I never saw Transformers 5 because I felt like, well, we'd reviewed 4 and I feel like there'll be nothing different to say about this one. And I almost feel the same way about this. Is like,
we could just repost the Apocalypse
yeah,
and be like, yeah, that'll do.
It'll probably be the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. So yeah. That said, I mean, there's still a good chance I'll go see this to review it as opposed to Venom, which I didn't go see.
Yeah. But that's because other people will probably see this one as well.
Yes, that is true, because Sophie Turner and Jessica Chastain are in it, so Matt will be gunning to the theatre over the speed limit.
The quality of the movie doesn't really matter at that point.
No, he's just gunning for it. This is the thing, like, if Matt was willing to go see Venom, I mean, admittedly, it's not his fault, he was away for a wedding, but, like, if he was willing to go see it, I'd be more inclined to do so. I was going to do a solo review in Venom, and I was just like, you know what, I really don't want to pay money to go see this. I really don't. I really don't want to sit through it. I'm not opposed to watching it later at home, on home release when it's cheaper and I can
If we get a quiet week.
play like some video games or something while it's on, just to dull the pain rather.
Play a little bit of a drinking game
Uh,
for me.
so I don't. Anyway, so yeah, Dark Phoenix looks a bit of a damp squib. That's how I describe
Yeah.
it. It looks like a damp squib of a movie.
We've spent a long time saying nothing about the movie.
Yeah, because there's nothing to talk about. It's the same
I know.
actors, the same motions, quick cut, nothing to show off.
No, I'm with you. It's a boring trailer.
It's just
Probably a
tired.
boring movie.
So underwhelming. But we've got a few superhero things to talk about this week, though. Although you didn't watch the next one because you're on your second trailer. Like,
Yeah, I always have a second trailer rule anyway. Long-time listeners will know this.
well, I won't spoil that. I don't need to spoil what happens with it.
I just would say, even if I didn't have that rule, no way would I watch this trailer at 5 minutes. Not a chance. I wouldn't do that for any movie.
Aquaman get like a 5 minute long trailer, and I won't just so Connor can stay in the conversation. I won't get too specific about anything that goes on because I don't think it's really that important. You get a better sense of like the plot because it focuses more on just what the main thing is, right? Just what the main problem is that they have to solve. Almost to the point where I thought Black Manta wasn't even going to show up, and then he ended up showing up towards the end of the trailer for a big long sequence. But it was more what you saw. You saw the rooftop stuff in the last trailer. It was just more of that.
Yeah, this is why I feel like I don't like watching second trailers. I'm just like, well, no, I've seen what I need to see.
I will say I don't know if I'm feeling the humor all that much because you've got Momoa doing his bro humor, his tough guy humor. Yeah. And there's a joke in this trailer about because the one sort of notable thing from the comics that I saw that was they're clearly doing this kind of thing is Mira's powers. Mira has her powers, right? She's got her water bending nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm just moving something so the cat doesn't knock it. Yes, and it's okay. So that's cool. And then, but it's immediately followed up with a joke about we could have just peed on it, coming from Momoa, and I just like I don't know that joke felt kind of forced to me. It felt like a forced way to put humor into this kind of joke.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I wasn't feeling the joke.
I will say you've always been a little bit down on Momoa's Aquaman compared to some of us, like me and Matt.
I don't dislike him. I just feel like he's not playing a character. I feel like he's just being Jason Momoa.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of into that Aquaman.
Yeah, there's a couple of shots on Nicole Kidman did because of. But honestly, the bigger thing, which is perhaps more hopeful for me, is that because it shows a couple of big scenes kind of uninterrupted for the most part, you see a bit more of the filmmaking in terms of like how the scene plays out and pacing and how it's shot.
Yeah.
And the rooftop stuff that I was mentioning, it's a little bit phony in places because there's a point where to do this all in one take, there's a bit of CG kind of, patchwork in the middle because it's like going over lots of buildings and shit.
Sure.
But there's a lot of thing where it's like following Mira being chased, and then it goes across a lot of rooftops, and then it's Aquaman dodging blasts and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like okay, that had style. That was more style in that 30-second clip had more style from a directional point of view than like Suicide Squad or Justice League had. Like it had more going, more of a style. So I'm a bit hopeful in that sense. So we'll see. I want it to be good, but out of that, Shazam, Wonder Woman 84, and even Birds of Prey at this point, because it's so much more of an unknown quantity, I'm more excited about that than I am Aquaman.
I wouldn't include Birds of Prey for me at the minute, just because we've got a couple of cast members. That's it. I don't know nothing else about that. The other two definitely much more excited about than Aquaman, but hey, I'm still gonna go see it.
I like the Warner Bros.
Dark Phoenix, I might not bother.
Yeah. Well, we care about DC more than we do Marvel, so even the bad ones we're probably going to see just for the conversation's sake.
Yeah.
But I will say I like the I don't know if the first trailer had this, but the Warner Bros. And DC logo, they're in the water. Like the camera's like pieing over some islands, and it's like you see the logos in the water. It was Aquaman.
I will say it's just slightly related. Had a horrible poster this past week.
Oh sure.
His arm coming out holding the trident.
Sure, yeah. Oh, I should mention the trailer ends with a shot of him in the classic outfit
in the orange.
Yeah, the orange and green. Um, yeah, I mean, it's nice that they're doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks fine. Looks fine. It's a bit shiny, maybe for my taste. It's it's got that like we're still in the Snyderverse kind of visuals. So
Yeah. Yeah. Just need to end the universe, don't they?
yeah,
Start over.
Black Manta looks pretty cool. I'll give it that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, we'll move on to again another superhero trailer. And I think you were refusing to watch this one as well because it was also a second trailer.
It was, and also I saw a headline this week
Mm-hmm.
about something that was spoiled in the panel for the movie at New York Comic Con.
Okay.
They spoiled something, and I was like, right, well, I'm going on a blackout from everything about this now because I don't want to know what that was,
Okay. But that's with
and I don't know if
Spider-Man.
it's in the trailer or not.
Well, this is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Um, and again, kind of like the Aquaman one, it focused a bit more on what's actually happening. Because I think what this trailer focused on more than anything else was the idea of like how all these spider characters are meeting, rather than
Hmm.
just okay, male. So it is different universes. They all come from different places. That's why there's a Spider Pig. That's why there's Spider Gwen. They're all coming from different places. And it's basically about them trying to fix this and get home. It's kind of the main gist of it. But Miles is the main character. Miles is the one we're focusing on.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I think that's why the last trailer was here's Miles. Before we show you any of the other stuff, here's Miles. That's what the trailer was.
yeah, it was just we got a little bit of Peter, and then it was just a tease of Gwen at the end. Whereas this one, it was like here's Gwen, here's the noir Spider-Man, not voiced by Nicolas Cage, because why not? And here's Spider Pig. And there's I won't spoil what it is, but there's a scene towards the end. It's a really funny scene towards the end, involving Miles' friend Ganke. Well, I think it's Ganke. I assume they're in his universe, and that's him. But there's a joke with the Spider Pig that I thought was really funny. There.
Okay.
So the humor's on point. The animation still looks fantastic. Like it still looks really good and stylized.
Yeah. That's out roughly the same time as Aquaman, right?
Yeah, I think it's a week apart. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I'm more excited about this one than I am Aquaman.
You're not even much of a Spider-Man fan.
Not really. I mean, I like Spider-Man well enough, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've never read anything with Miles.
I like Spider-Man. I typically would always pick the DC character over the Marvel character, but I have to admit I do like Spider-Man more than I do Aquaman as a property.
I wouldn't even say that. I'd probably like them equally. Of like, yeah, sure, either way. But this just looks like a better movie
It does.
from
No,
what I've seen of the trailers.
it looks more confident. Whereas the Aquaman one, well, you've got James Wan like doing his best and whatnot. Like it feels like it's still trying very hard to be a cool movie, and I feel like if you're trying to be cool, that's an uphill battle.
Yeah, no,
You
that's
know,
fair.
you try to be something else, and then you might be cool along the way. you know.
No, I'm with you. Can't argue with that.
So it feels a little bit phony, I suppose, in that sense. But I mean, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. I mean, if nothing else, it's probably going to be much better than the Snyder directed movies and Suicide. I mean, Suicide Squad was a complete disaster as well. So I can't imagine it's as bad as that.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just, it's all right, it's probably still coming in second out of the DC movies so far.
Probably that's so sad. That's such a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
So yes, that was the comic book stuff. Next up, we get a trailer for Holmes and Watson. This is the was it John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, as Watson and Holmes respectively. This looks like garbage. I hated this with every fibre of my being.
I knew you would. No, I'm not saying that I liked it. I didn't despise it in the same way that you did, but I knew you were going to hate it.
I mean, it comes up at the start saying for the team we brought you Step Brothers and then Talladega Nights, and is like, okay, I know what this is going to be, and they're making stupid jokes. They're doing selfie photos with like the old time camera with the Queen. They're knocking the Queen out. They're doing these awful accents the entire time. It's juvenile shitty humor. I hated this. I want nothing to do with this. Nothing. Like, you would be paying at least $1,000 to get me to watch this. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No, I'm not really into this either. This is the sort of movie where I will throw on it in the background at 2 a.m. after I've had a few drinks.
Yeah, and yes,
I still won't be paying attention that much then.
And this shocked people whenever I told them this, especially when I was at uni. But yes, I hate Step Brothers. I think it's garbage. I want nothing to do with it. It's painfully unfunny. Leave me alone. Will Ferrell is so unfunny. It is unreal. I do not like his humor at all.
That's fair.
So
It's
no.
hit or miss for me.
I hate it. But the jokes in this one especially, just tackling this one its own, almost every joke made me groan or just, like put in the references to modern stuff and the old times or whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
Or why is Watson an idiot in this universe? Like why is he like a buffoon the entire time? Like to this extent.
I think the only time I got a chuckle was when it's the woman doctor there, and he's like, "Oh, woman doctor, that's impossible." It is. I've got a real doctor here, and he just goes, and they're like looking all confused. And he just goes, "Heroin," and
Yeah.
just that kind of just came out of nowhere and gave me a good chuckle.
Yeah, because it's just playing in the sexist times a little bit, and then he just comes out with heroin as if that's
Yeah, it's like, well, that cures everything, doesn't it?
and that lady doctor was Rebecca. Oh, I can't remember the last name. She was in Iron Man 3, and she's been in a
I want to
bunch
say
of other stuff.
Hall.
Yes, Hall. It's Rebecca Hall. You're right. It's Hall.
Like,
Yes, I recognised her.
yeah,
Poor Rebecca Hall being in this shit. I pity her.
you got Ralph Fiennes in there as well.
There was a lot of I think Steve Coogan might have had a cameo as well. There was a lot of quick cuts of different like
Yeah,
British actors, and I was like, oh god, what are you all doing in this? Run for the hills, run! It's awful.
it's called a paycheck.
True. I hope they're getting well reimbursed for their time because
Yeah,
the shame that must come with this, I cannot even fathom. Oh
yeah.
god. Anyway, so next up, so shifting gears completely to this ultra serious movie, we got a trailer for The Mule, which is a Clint Eastwood film. Was he directing this as well? I don't know. I don't know if I noticed if he was directing.
I'm not sure. Do you want me to try
Have a
and
quick look.
check?
Have a quick look. See if he's, but he's starring in this. Bradley Cooper's in it as well. And he's basically this, old geriatric, because he's like pushing 90 at this point. he's a bit of a trooper still acting at this age, but he's like the mule that no cop would suspect that he's smuggling drugs because he's such an old
Yeah,
man. He's directing.
yeah, he did direct it.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, just fun fact: the first words of the description on IMDb is a 90-year-old.
Oh, there you go.
So
There
nice
you go.
ballparking.
There you go. So so it's a really sad trailer. There's a lot of piano, and it's about this guy who's got all these regrets, and he's like, I'm doing one last run, which I'm so used to that being the plot device, but it's typically someone who's 30 or 35.
Yeah, just trying to get out of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's like, no, I've made a lot of mistakes, a lot of regrets, but I'll do one last run. I actually thought it was going to set up that he was working with the FBI or whatever at first, but it started cutting to them. I thought he was going to be like, wearing a wire or something like that. But then the rest of the trailer kind of played out as if no, he's not involved with them, and he might get caught. This might be him going down towards the end.
It looks like it's well directed. Like I think it's the opening bit of the trailer with the car, and you just hear the dog barking, and then the cop goes back, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I thought the trailer had a really nice focused tone. It was this piano music playing. It was kind of emotional.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Clint Eastwood is very hit and miss with me. Maybe probably more misses than hits when it comes to his directing movies. Depending on what the focus of the movie is. Like American Sniper, I don't know.
And I never saw it. It didn't look like my sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'd be into it. But Gran Torino, I remember enjoying. Obviously, Unforgiven's is a pretty good movie. But he's got a lot that I don't sit that well with me. And but I can't deny the trailer, and I can't deny the premise is interesting. That he is this unsuspecting old man, and they're closing in on him, and you're kind of rooting for him because you want him to get out of the game. But it's like, how much chaos has he caused in 90 years though? Like if he's been doing this since he was like 20, what's he done in those 70 years?
Yeah. He's lived a life.
Should we want to root for him? Like, is that going to be part of the movie? Are we going to learn about some of his past?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't, but here we are.
I mean, if it plays with that, if it plays with the idea, you want to give him sympathy just because he's an old man. But then that'll subvert your expectations.
It's almost certainly how he gets out of at least one situation.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So I could see them playing with that, and if they do play with that, that could be the hook, that could be the pull, which makes it. That's the premise of the movie and why it was made. So,
no, it looks alright though.
Yeah, I can't fault the trailer. It looks fine. Which takes us on to Rocketman, which is the Elton John biopic, starring Taron Egerton from your Kingsman movies, and he's got the wig on. He's doing all the different outfits for Elton John. I'm not a big biopic guy. This is kind of no different, even though it's a bit more fantastical because it's it's like was it what was the thing it says at the end?
It was
Based
based on a true fantasy.
Yeah, based on a true fantasy. That was it.
I really like that because that told me everything I needed to know about what sets this apart.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I guess part of it is I mean, I don't dislike Elton John, but I have no attachment to him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he's got a couple of good songs. That's fine. But I think I'm not a big biopic guy, and I honestly don't think there's any musician where you could say, "I was going to be a movie about them," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that'll be a great story." Like, you know, I feel like nothing would. I mean, that's not to say that there couldn't be a good movie and that there wouldn't be some that would change my mind once I see them. But I don't think there's any that just on premise alone would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that."
Okay, I get you.
You know,
I mean, between the we got the Freddie Mercury one in the next couple of months, and then this, it's looking like a reasonable time for musician biopics coming up
it seems so.
because both of those look pretty good from the trailers.
They both look fine from the trailers. I'm not really that motivated to see either one.
Fair.
No, certainly
I
no
do
rush.
like this one is doing the fantasy of it just to really set it apart from the other just biopics that you get at this time of year.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how far they go. Like, did they get him to like sort of not current age, but does he get to his older years?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they have him in that much
I-
makeup? I don't know. But,
Yeah, we'll find out.
yeah,
Well, I'll find out.
yeah. This is just a classic case of it's not for me rather than anything else. The trailer's got a good pace to it. It shows you enough different things. You know, it actually has him.
Yeah.
The song Rocketman's actually playing when it gets to the title at the end.
Yeah, that's the through line for most of the trailer is the
Yeah.
song.
Which makes sense. Like some trailers can over rely on music. I feel like some of them pull it off well. The Godzilla trailer this year was reliant on music, but it worked very well. I think when you're doing a movie about a musician, using one of their tracks to drive the trailer makes a lot of sense. In fact, if I'm thinking about it, I don't think the Bohemian Rhapsody ones have been too beholden to that.
Oh, what's interesting about those, or at least the one I saw, I think it's had a couple of trailers now, is that it threw in like 6 or 7 different songs.
Yeah,
So it didn't do like here's the one key through line song. It just went a little bit of each one.
which I almost think is less effective because then it feels like it's more like a CD advert. It's like here's a snippet
fair.
of all these tracks.
There are definitely I think it opens with "We Will Rock You,"
Mm.
and that was pretty memorable in that trailer. Like we're hearing that. So I don't know, but maybe it's just to say it's
I do.
maybe that one covers a bit more time, so it's a bit broader.
I do think it's interesting though. Both those movies had the same idea where they named the movie after their big song.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain movie now called "Smells Like Teen Spirit,"
I'd watch it.
or the Leonard Skinner documentary called "Sweet Home Alabama." I'm assuming they're actually from Alabama, but they may not be. Maybe they just wrote the song. I don't actually know.
Me either.
I assumed they were. All right, fine. Tuesday's Gone. Call it Tuesday's Gone. Or Freebird. Whatever one. They've got a lot of iconic songs. It's fine. Pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Freebird's probably my favorite.
Yeah. If they wanted to be ballsy making the Kurt Cobain one, they just call it "Rape Me."
That is ballsy.
That'd be a ballsy one. Heart Shaped Box would work as well. That's a good title, but they'll call it "Smell Like Teen Spirit." Let's be honest. That was a big hit.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
That's what they do, really, isn't it? Just go, which one do people know?
Yes. If they ever make a Andy Dwyer one, it'll be 10,000 Candles in the Wind. So there's a quality reference because we're talking about Elton John, and that kind of wrapped it around to Parks and Rec.
It was not bad. Yeah, there was an actual link for once.
There was a through line. All right, moving on to the next trailer. We had Vice, which is from Adam McKay, who did The Big Short. I think that's the most notable one to mention because I think this one's very much a successor to that in terms of tone
Yeah,
and
it's
style.
the one that's most relevant.
It's Christian Bale playing Dick Cheney, and he's almost unrecognizable. You can hear his voice. His voice sounds like him, but
It doesn't look anything like
no,
it.
he doesn't. You know, bit of makeup. He's putting on a bit of weight, but the makeup, I think, is and the hair's the big thing that's really disguising him.
I will be shocked if this doesn't get makeup and at least nominations, but probably awards.
Yeah. Oh, Bale's going for that Oscar. He wants that recognition. He's gunning for it.
Yeah. He is going for it, isn't he?
So I thought it was a well put together trailer. Actually, it was very well paced. It was very upbeat. It did a really good job of going through a lot of the a lot of the key ideas and moments and from the story from the life of Dick Cheney, and what made him interesting, what made him different, and how he influenced the president, all his his previous conquests, and set up why he's an interesting character and why you should care about a movie about him. Not that I'm necessarily interested in him that much, but the trailer did a good job of saying, here's a style, here's a presentation that will be energetic if nothing else. Kind of like The Big Short, where it's about this financial crisis which sounds boring as shit, but then you watch the movie and it does a good job of keeping it interesting.
It's got style, yeah. And I felt that here. There's a shot with him Dick Cheney walking towards the camera, and you've just got all the words of the quote coming up around him, and just the way it comes up, the tone and the style of that tells me a lot about what to expect from the movie.
Yeah, it's a very quick paced. Lots of go to the beat of the music, and then at the end when it slows down and he's like, Sam Rockwell's playing the president.
Playing Bush.
Yeah, and he's like, so what do you think? You think we could be in business? We can do this? And he just kind of smirks and says, "Oh yeah, I think we can do something." And it kind of, because the trailer starts with that conversation and it ends with it. So again, it bookends it. It's a really well put together trailer. I think we're talking about the best trailer of the week. This isn't necessarily the movie I'm most looking forward to, but it may be the best put together trailer of the week.
It's got a great presentation to it.
Yeah. So no, and there's a lot of other faces in there. Amy Adams is in there. She's working with him again.
Yes, she's the wife.
Which is funny. Whenever Christian Bale's doing a fat role, Amy Adams is his wife. I don't know why that happens, but
it's true, isn't it?
Yeah. After this in American Hustle, that's now the shtick. For some reason, if Christian Bale's going fat, then Amy Adams is there as his wife.
Quick, get her on the phone.
We can't buy anyone else being with Christian Bale when he's fat. It has to be Amy Adams. But yeah, so like I'm being all professional now because the cat's moved.
It's only taken half an hour.
Shut up. So that's called Vice. So very upbeat, very, very interesting. Check it out. You can definitely see it going for the same sort of category as Big Short in terms of the style, the tone.
I really liked
the awards. I like Big Short. It's not something I ever would watch again, I don't think. Like, it's sort of like I had a good time. I was not like I expected going into that movie that I was probably going to be kind of bored and dull because of what it was about, and I wasn't. To its credit, everything worked, and it was an interesting story the way it was told. But I'm good now. I don't need to go back and revisit it. So
I'll definitely watch it again at some point.
But yeah, so that was Vice. Next we had The Upside, which is a remake of a French film called The Untouchables, which I have seen actually. I've seen the original of this, but this is called The Upside. This is Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart's one of those announcements when I heard he was cast in the remake of this that I went, are they changing what the tone of that movie is? Because that original is not a Kevin Hart vehicle by any means.
And okay, I didn't realize this was a remake. I just threw the trailer on, and I'm like watching it. I'm like, this is the least Kevin Hart trailer I've ever seen.
Absolutely. No, I'll give it credit there. It doesn't. It's definitely the least Kevin Hart movie that Kevin Hart's been in that I've seen.
Yeah.
In terms of trailers. So yeah, the premise of the movie, which is the same in the original, is you've got this young guy, in this case Kevin Hart, who is kind of down his luck. He can't keep jobs, and he's basically just going to get his form filled in for his social worker to say that he's came and applied, and he storms in. But the guy who's going to hire him was Bryan Cranston, who's disabled and can't move his arms at all. So there's a whole thing in the trailer where he's like, just sign my thing so I can go. And he's like, I can't sign your thing. How do you expect me to do that? And the whole idea is it's kind of a drama, but with a comedy kind of touch on top of it. Where at least the original was that's one I can feel leaning into the comedy a bit more because it's Kevin Hart. But
maybe it didn't feel like overly so in this trailer though.
That's fair. But basically they bond. He becomes his carer, and he's never done this before. There's some jokes in the trailer about him like not paying attention to like the harnesses and letting them fall over and things like that.
The moment that got me is the changing the catheter.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's fine, I can't feel it, and he's like, yeah, but I can, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I relate to that.
Yeah. No, and it's this idea where they have this relationship where Bryan Cranston's character, like, he likes this guy because he doesn't treat him like everyone else does. He just is straight with him, and he appreciates that. He appreciates that he's not treated differently by him, and then so they both kind of learn from each other. They kind of bond, The original was a good drama with some comedy in it. The scene of them paragliding was in the original as well.
Right.
Where where the old guy's like, yeah, let's do this. I can't wait to do this, and the other guy's like, no, I'm scared shitless. No, let's not do this. I don't want to do this. You kidding me?
Yeah.
But he talks them into it, and they grow and they bond, and so the original was a good story. I know why they wanted to remake it, and yeah, I mean it's not Kevin Hart's there, but it's not as Kevin Hartified as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, because when it starts with him, I was a little concerned, but by the end, I think we've covered a good handful of Kevin Hart trailers on this show now,
And they're all very similar.
and they're all very similar, except this one. This one stands apart for the better.
Yeah, and I laughed at the end because the joke at the end is that they're getting angry at each other, and like Kevin Hart smashes something, and then like Branker's like, I want to smash more things, and he makes him smash like a bunch of stuff in his room, and then the woman walks in. I say the woman, Nicole Kidman walks in, and she looks around at all the mess, and then Bryan Cranston just goes, he made a mess. He's like, I'm not taking the fall for this. You can down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that made me laugh. It was funny. So, it could work. And obviously, Bryan Cranston's a great actor, and I never doubted him in this role.
Yeah, and I don't think Kevin Hart's a bad actor. I just think he always does the same thing.
Oh yeah,
I don't like that thing.
Yeah, all of his comedy movies are basically the same. At least from what I've seen of them. I don't know, I've only seen a couple of them, but
like even it really stood out to me in the last year where we had Jumanji. Because everyone else was playing against type and doing something different. Like you had Dwayne Johnson, playing the timid guy, right?
Yeah.
And you had everyone was like playing against type and doing their thing, except Kevin Hart was just being Kevin Hart.
I guess the joke there is, well, the point of that was that the character was supposed to be the jock usually, and now Kevin Hart's the alternate version of him, right? Because he's in the smaller body. But but like you say, the thing with The Rock in that movie is that he's actually, not only is he playing against type for the character, he's also playing against type for who The Rock is typically.
Exactly. Yeah, it was all the actors were doing like something a bit different, whereas Kevin Hart was just doing his usual thing, which I guess is why they cast him. But
he has his fans. People like Kevin Hart, but so that was called The Upside. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It looks better than I would have assumed a remake of The Untouchables would be. But yeah, so you can go check out the original if you want. If you like foreign films, it's pretty good. Next up, we got a movie called The Long Dumb Road, starring the worst possible character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, and he's basically playing the same character.
He always plays this character. It's the same problem as Kevin Hart. He's always playing this character. I've never seen this. I don't know exactly the actor's name off the top of my head, but I've never seen him not play the crazy guy, ever.
That's fair.
More accurately, I've never seen him not play the wild card. That's, I think, a more accurate description than just crazy guy.
Do you know what the difference is, though? I enjoy him as the wild card.
I don't know if I do. When I said he's the worst character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I kind of meant that.
Really?
He's my least favourite part of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, no. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't into when Rosa was dating him, and we had that whole thing. He for the most part, I was glad when he left. I'm like, I'm done with this. The relationship's weird. I'm good.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And this looks like a dumb road trip movie where it's a coming of age movie for the younger guy who he's kind of taken under his wing, and that's it. They get into some hijinks. They pick up girls. They get drunk. They almost get shot. Things happen.
It looks pretty standard.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be fun enough, but nothing unique.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's basically, hey, it's a road trip movie, but we got wildcard guy.
Yeah, that's basically it. That is the entire trailer. Nothing surprising happens, as I guess is what I'm saying. Next up, keeping on road trip movies, we had another one. We had Better Start Running, which is a trailer that's a very light-hearted trailer that just happens to have a really dark setup in terms of why the road trip happens. You have this sort of nerdy guy who's into the girl that he works with, and then he catches, I think, the manager or one of the higher-ups sexually assaulting her, and he kicks the guy...
Throws him through a window.
Throws him through the window, which is like an upstairs office, and the guy lands and presumably dies, and they go on the run. Even though if they stayed and explained what happened, it might not actually be that bad at this point.
Yeah, but I did laugh because he phones the police. He's like, "Hey, at this place, someone's been hurt, but I'm gonna go now."
Yeah. Well, maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's actually still breathing, and that's why he's making a point of phone and say, "Hey, send an ambulance." But I'm running. I'm going.
Yeah,
So the girl runs with him, and they end up picking up his grandfather, who's at an old folks' home, and they go on a run. And
but it's kind of weird because it was like, yeah, but like I say, they're on the run, but they treat it like a road trip. Stop at all the tourist attractions. And...
yeah, because the grandfather points that out and says, "This is stupid. We're on the run. Why are we stopping at the roadside attractions? This is stupid. This is weird."
Yeah.
And then they accidentally get into more trouble because there's kind of a manhunt for him, and then he accidentally like knocks over a cop.
Yeah, he runs over a cop. It's
Yeah.
like, well, now it's worse.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a weird, like, somehow stumbling in to be even more of a fugitive. That's kind of the premise. All while the girl and him kind of are going to hit it off and fall in love, no doubt.
Obviously.
Because that's what happens. So it's a very dark setup for a movie that doesn't feel
Quite
like
jovial.
Yeah, it's quite jovial. So I don't know if the rape attempt at the start, or I say attempt, I mean, they kind of hide it in the trailer. You don't really get to see like how far gone it is.
I think it really depends on seeing the full context. It's because obviously they're just going like, here's 10 seconds, get the context of why they're going.
Yeah, like let's say the movie's actually got more of a heart to it, and by the end of it, it's got something to say about recovering from sexual assault or something. Like maybe there's more to it in the movie, and that's why it's just there. In the trailer though, it feels like kind of a weird, wacky little comedy that happens to just start with rape, and it just kind of feels
like a really easy way just to make him the savior, so she'll run away with him.
Yeah, it feels a bit cheap in the trailer. But the movie could give it enough context and get more meaning out of it.
Yeah, like it could build to this in the opening of the movie. Like, it could take its time to get to that. Whereas obviously the trailer just jumps right in.
Because it's almost a joke moment when he kicks him so hard that he goes through a window.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't, that shouldn't be a joke moment. He's kicking someone who's raping someone. It should be a dramatic, tense moment.
You'd think,
but not overplayed either, because that would equally be awful. But that felt a bit weird. The rest of it though looked okay.
That's all right.
Yeah. The rest of it didn't look bad.
I like the mishmash tone of, hey, we're on the run, but let's do all this just normal shit.
Yeah, it was kind of like fugitives who are actually not really criminals, so they don't understand how to do it properly. So they're just, they're going to Deep Sea World. They're going to these weird little.
Yeah, there's probably some fun to be had in that.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see if it has more of a point. If you watch it and there's actually more of a statement about how that starts and what that does to the characters, and I could see it being better than the trailer presents it. But right now it feels a little bit weird that it starts the way it does. But
yeah.
Hey. But that takes us on to the final trailer that we're going to talk about this week, which is a film called Look Away. It is a horror film about a teenage girl who's kind of she's kind of timid and she's quiet and she's kind of bullied and no one really likes her. Jason Isaacs is her father. I thought this was going to be about him like coming out of school and just kicking the shit out of bullies because he's Jason Isaacs. He don't take shit. It's actually a horror movie where she has an alter ego that comes from the mirror. Because the trailer actually starts with her at the mirror, like, she's like washing her face or brushing her teeth or something, and her head goes down, and the reflection looks up at her, and I'm like, okay. And it's one of these things where, okay, it could be supernatural, but it's probably more a psychological thing where it's like an alter ego who's just taken over.
Yeah.
And this is how it's represented and after she's like properly bullied and she's humiliated in front of everyone, kind of Carrie-esque style. And this is earlier in the movie though, clearly. She becomes the alter ego, she lets her take over, and she becomes this seductive, like, evil, I'm going to, seduce you into it.
I was all over the place with this trailer.
You like parts of it?
The opening part? Like, that opening where, okay, with the mirror, and, she goes down and it looks up. I'm like, okay, I like that. And then I'm like, oh, Jason Isaacs, okay.
You got a man crushing him? I like. Sure, yeah.
No, he's an excellent actor. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
You should have heard about him gushing about him on Star Trek. He's got a crush on Jason Isaacs. Don't let him lie.
He was very good on Star Trek.
That and Harry Potter. He's like, oh, he's from Harry Potter. Oh, Harry Potter's instantly 2 points of crushness.
He's not. There are more serious ways to rate this. Harry Potter does not factor.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
then
continue.
the trailer quickly nosedives when it basically there's the point where I'm like, you see the alter ego in the mirror. I'm like, okay, this looks kind of cheap. And then she takes over, and I'm like, okay, hard out.
Yeah, it looks like a really trashy, low budget horror movie. It reminded me of a few different films. It reminded me a little bit of, obviously there's a bit of Carrie in there. It reminded me of a film I watched last year. What did I say it was called? Dark Mirror. What did I say it was called that? Where the teenage girl's being like bullied and shit, and my cat's covering half the camera. And hey cat, you good? You good, cat? Yeah, just you. Yes. So yeah, it was a teenage girl who's been bullied, and she's got this mirror in her room. And whenever she makes a wish, it somehow happens to one of the students. And this is not the exact same, but I'm getting that same kind of teen angst. She's going to start taking it out on the students, and
Just it looks cheap, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it looking cheap if the story looked good. But honestly, once she turned into this seductress who grabs the bully's dick and is like, "Oh, you scared of me now," or something like that. Like I was
It
like,
got to that, and I was like, okay, I'm out. Like, like I wasn't super into it from the bit before where we see the alter ego properly in the mirror and it's talking. But that was the moment. The dick grabbing is where, okay, this is schlock and not the good kind.
yeah, yeah. I think part of it's because I think we're supposed to think it's sexy, right? I think that's part of the appeal of these types of movies. Is like, oh, she becomes the sexy one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like I'm too old now to be like, oh, the high school girl. Like I'm too old for this shit, right? I'm done.
You're not 13 anymore.
Exactly. When I was young enough that this was older than me, sure, maybe it was enticing, but not for a long ass time.
But that's been so long you don't remember it anymore.
It's not been that long. Shut up. Shut up. I remember when I was 13 and MP3
I
players
remember way back when.
were a big thing, and the YouTube was just about to start. Yeah, people forget YouTube only started in 2005. It feels older than that.
It does.
It legitimately feels
Google's
older
only
than that.
early 2000s as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because I remember there was a reference to Google in the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer in season 7, and it felt notable when Willow mentioned Google, because she says if you Googled her, and Buffy's all like, "Well, she's 17." And it's like, "No, it's a search engine," and I was like, "That joke doesn't play now. Everyone knows what Google is." But
to Google something is a phrase.
yeah, but in 2002, that was a new thing, so they cracked the joke, and it worked.
It probably was pretty. It must have been like 0102-ish that the Google started.
Yeah, so this was season.
Well,
This was the first half of season 7, so this was late 2002. This joke was cracked.
so they're pretty on the bubble there.
Yeah. Yeah. They also made a Harry Potter reference in that show before the movie started being made.
Yeah, good for them.
Dawn mentioned that she'd been reading Harry Potter. She mentioned Hogwarts, I think.
I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. And I only noticed that after the movies came out, and I watched it again, and I was like, oh, that was a reference to Harry Potter, because I didn't know what Harry Potter was before the movies came out.
To be fair, most people didn't.
Yeah, most people did, but I especially wouldn't have known about this kids' fantasy series.
You wish you didn't know about it now.
I kind of do, yes. It's kind of everywhere. It's taking over everything.
Yeah. But they just keep coming now, don't they?
Well, they do. They ran out of books to adapt. Then J.K. Rowling's like, oh, I'll just make 5 new movies.
Yeah. That's a great thing.
Anyway, that's the trailers this week, which does lead us to picking our favourite of the week. So why is it Dark Phoenix?
Hang on, let me look at the list to see. I can't remember what they all were. No, Dark Phoenix is obviously. Is it the weakest?
It's not the worst looking movie, but it might be the blandest trailer.
That's it, because even Holmes and Watson, you hate the look of that movie, but the trailer's doing exactly what it's supposed to. People who like those other movies and like that comedy will be into that trailer.
I think it's a weak trailer in the sense that it's just using the typical comedy format. It's not. It's just plugging in the the holes where it's supposed to plug, and that's fine. But it's not doing anything new. It's making it a fun, it's exceptionally well done trailer. It's just the standard, but even that's better than Dark Phoenix, which just felt like it was here's some scenes without any thought.
It didn't even have the standard of like like I say for a superhero movie trailer, there's at least just there's a standard plugin that will just work, right?
Yes.
And Dark Phoenix couldn't even manage that. So it's pretty weak.
Yeah. Honestly, probably Vice had the best trailer. With the upside actually being kind of close. Although Spider-Man Into Spider-Man Verse was also very good. You didn't watch that one, but that was also very good.
No, I'll take your word for it. But no, I'd agree with Vice on the upside, and I think just honorable mention to Rocketman for telling me what sets it apart really distinctly.
All right. But yeah, Rocketman, trailer of the week, approved. No, sorry, not Rocketman, Vice. It's because you said that last, and I wasn't thinking about it.
I was like, are you changing your mind?
No, Vice is the trailer of the week. Yes. There you go. That's trailer talk. So that is us. So just to remind you once again, Connor's on vacation next week. Meaning that next week there might not be a trailer talk. If there is, it'll be just me on my own. But if there isn't, we'll be back the following week, and you'll get trailer talk back sometime then. But yeah, so other than that, I don't think there's much to tell you, except of course the usual stuff. Let us know what you thought of the trailers in the comments. All the links in the description as per usual. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz. If you want to support the channel and the show and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. You can get some bonuses, some exclusives, get some stuff early, but mostly just feel good that you're just supporting us and everything we do, and that's great. We love you loads. But that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching movies, guys, and we'll see you next time.